Hello French lovers, are you learning French and you are confused on when to use continuous tense in French? Is it je vais or je suis allé? Don't worry, today I will teach you how to speak French naturally by understanding the differences between présent et le passé composé. So if you are ready, let's begin. Firstly, let's start with the present tense. It is called in French le présent de l'indicatif, and in English it is divided into two parts, the continuous tense and the simple present tense. So let's use this sentence as illustration. We say I am going to school. I am going to school is a continuous tense in English. People might tend to translate it as je suis allant à l'école, which is the literal translation of that sentence. So what others might decide to go to the extent of using the passé composé by saying je suis allé à l'école. Why? Because they tend to contrast the both languages, using je for I, using am for suis, using going for aller, and using to school for à l'école. In this case also, it is still not correct. Why? Because in the French version, that sentence is in passé composé, and meanwhile, the other one in English is in continuous tense. So what do we do at this point? We have to go naturally. We translate it naturally. At this point, we say je vais à l'école. That is the correct translation. Je vais à l'école. This sentence equally means I am going to school in English and I go to school. So at this point, it is very, very simple when you translate it that way. Now, the next segment is I will have to give you some little examples. I will have to give you some examples like I am eating or I eat. Translated to French gives you je mange. Now you have he is studying or he studies. Translated to French gives you il étudie. Il étudie. Now the last example I'm going to give here now is we are walking. We are walking or we walk. Translated to French would be nous travaillons. So in this case, you don't see the être, the verb to be in these sentences. You have the direct meaning of the sentence. You'll use the action verb of that in that sentence directly to convey your meaning. Now, note that for any action that is happening at the moment, you have to know that you are using the action verb directly. You don't have to use the am in the French version. Why? Because every verb in French conveys two meanings in English in the present tense. Every verb in present tense, used in present tense in French, conveys two meanings in present in English. One is the present continuous tense and the second is the simple present tense, like we just gave in the above examples. Now let's talk about passé composé. Passé composé is considered in English as the past tense or the present perfect. Why is it considered as the present perfect? Because of its constructions. Why? How do you construct it? We use the auxiliary verb avoir or être in present tense plus the past participle of the verb we are to conjugate. Now, let's say, for example, we want to make this sentence. She went to school or she had gone to school. In this context, it is translated as elle est allée à l'école. Elle est allée à l'école. Now, you see that we have the verb être, which is conjugated in present tense as est, plus the aller, which is in the past participle form, which is est allé. For more examples, elle a mangé un sandwich can equally mean she ate a sandwich, or she has eaten a sandwich. She ate a sandwich. Past tense. She has eaten a sandwich. Present perfect. Another example, we have nous avons travaillé hier. Nous avons travaillé hier, meaning we worked yesterday, or we have worked yesterday. So you should note that verbs like venir, aller, partir, tomber takes the auxiliary to be to form their passé composé. Why? These are mostly movement verbs. Why? Because you shift from point A to point B. They take auxiliary to be. So before you use a sentence, before you make a sentence with passé composé, you should first of all look at the verb. Is it a movement verb? Does it shift you from point A to point B? If yes, you use the auxiliary to be. If no, then you use the auxiliary to have. So for example, we have je suis allé à l'école. Here now we have the verb to be, which is être. Je suis parti à l'église. Here we have the verb parti, which shifts you from point A to point B. So you use the auxiliary to be. Now for avoir, you say j'ai mangé. You don't shift, you don't work while eating. And you say j'ai dormi. You don't walk while sleeping. You stand, you sleep on the bed, and you walk to go to church. So that's how you can detect the movement verb that goes with auxiliary to be and non-movement verb that goes with auxiliary to have. Okay, what you need to know now is to avoid word-for-word translation. Think in French and go naturally. So don't say je suis travaillant for I am working. Instead, say je travaille. Equally, don't say je suis allé for I am going. Instead, say je vais. So there are two key questions you need to ask yourself before you make any sentence in French. Is the action happening now? Then use présent de l'indicatif, which is the present tense. The next question is, has the action already happened? Then use passé composé. So in this method, you will never mistake or you will never fail in terms of conjugations in French. So go natural and you will see how the language flows directly. So I would like to give you a little assignment to do. For your assignment, I would like you to make sentences with these three French verbs: aller, travailler, et manger. Drop them in the comment section and I will correct them if needed. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe for simple French tips that actually make sense. So at this point, I will tell you au revoir, à bientôt.